Phantoms for Steeldogs A. I'm lucky to be joined by Will Weldon. Will, that's probably the worst result at home of the season, and I thought that we started. Obviously, they scored early, scored after 64 seconds. We come back, scored two quick goals ourselves, but the second period ended with probably a key moment. Two goals conceded, 3 and 4, and then we were out of it in the final period.
Yeah, it was definitely games that I've been involved in this season. It's definitely the worst performance, home or away, and obviously sucks to put in a performance like that in front of so many fans who did everything they could to try and get the guys going. And you can look at small moments, like you say, at the end of second, but I think a performance like that, it goes past that, and it's not about those small moments there. It's more than that, and we're lucky to even be that close at that point in the game.
And those are telling words. It's pleasing to hear that kind of candid response, but obviously going into the final period, we would have thought that we could have to pull that back. I think Jordan got exposed on too many occasions, and that's by that point it's too difficult to come back from.
Yeah, I think I try to be positive whenever you can find a positive in something. You know, sometimes the result's not what you want, what the performance is. Tonight, the result just reflected the performance. It was flat. There was nothing, and I said after the second period to the guys in the locker room that we were lucky to be in a game, but sometimes that's hockey, and you've got to just grasp that and go and put 20 minutes in, and that could be enough. And you know, we did the complete opposite. We, like you say, we left Marzi out to dry. There's not really any words for it.
Tough road trip tomorrow up at Hull. We had a big kind of defeat up there last time we were up there, so there's going to need to be some regrouping. Obviously, Joe Gretton is back on the ice. I don't know if Callum's going to be back tomorrow, but defensive core short tonight. I thought one positive for me, man of the match for the Phantoms. Paddy took his goals well, but Luke Johnson played well in defence tonight.
Yeah, I think Luke probably was our best player probably on the ice, let alone defenseman. And you know, love Jono, but that's not a good sign when a forward stepping back and playing in a position that he's not played in probably for 7-8 years, and he's looks like the best player on the ice. That's not a dig at Jono at all, and you know, he did great, and we just needed more of that from other guys, and that goes forwards through to the D-core. But yeah, I guess if you're trying to take one positive, you certainly can say that Luke did well. Yeah,
and so obviously we beat the Raiders last weekend. We do seem to have run aground a little bit. We've had a terrific start to the season, and I said to one of the guys a couple of weeks ago, mid-season report, Phantoms second, third, looking decent, but it seems to have gone a bit flat.
Yeah, it has. It's hard to really put a finger on what that is. Nothing's changed in terms of the desire, and you know, tactically we look to improve every week. Training, we look to work hard. Obviously, games we go in with game plans that it just feels at the minute we're not executing, and that rests on the players. I think what's important was tonight, obviously, is we're dejected and feel disappointed in the performance. I think it's good to feel that way, and I think it's right to feel that way in the moment. But what's important is that there isn't a carry on. That doesn't feed into tomorrow, and the sun will come up tomorrow. It's a new day, and we've just got to. It's hard because I don't want to say forget tonight, because we need to remember how that feels, and you know, make sure that we don't put in performances like that for that reason. But we need to, in the moment, move on from it. Look ourselves in the mirror. If you can look at yourself in the mirror at the end of 60 minutes, that's enough. Yeah. If you can't, that's clearly tomorrow's where we put it right.
And we've got a tough run of games leading to the Cup semi-final. Do you think that the team know what it needs to correct in order to get back on track?
I think we know what we need to do. what's hard is standing here now and thinking, if we know why, why have we put a performance like that in, and I don't have an answer for that. But that's what Slava's job is. That's what the senior guys on the team's job is to find that answer and make sure that the guys know. And you don't become a bad team overnight. We've been on a couple of really good runs earlier in the season. We've put in some performances, some of the best performances probably that in the 10 plus years I've been here. As I say, we're not suddenly now a bad team. It's just remembering that, regrouping, getting those little things back to where they were, pulling it together all into one and as a team, and reset and look to push on the second half.
I mean, I'd like to think, we've got to remember context. It's possibly I think the third home defeat in regulation in the season. It doesn't define the season, but obviously going forward, the next stretch of games potentially will.
Yeah.
And I think that the kind of response that you've given there, and I know that you've had other interviews tonight, it kind of set the tone, and will set the tone for tomorrow night. So we wish you all the best, of course, and we look forward to seeing you next weekend.